Hello, welcome back. This is section 6, and one of the things I want to show this time, uh, we're going to continue our normal story, but I want to show how you can add things from other IronSworn books using IronVault. And so let's bring up Obsidian. One thing that Feyrunners does not have is doesn't have like normal character names. It has Feyrunner names, which are online names, but it may be good to know their real name. You know, your world, like Feyrunners. I think in this story, I think I wanted that the hackers have, Feyrunner hacker names. However, other people, maybe just have normal online names or just their normal name. And I don't have oracles for that. So instead of me making up names for regular people, let's use an existing one. And so for that, I have this to do here, and I'll show you how to do this. I want to add the ones from Starforge. And so Starforge has a oracle that is several oracles for names, given names, including call signs. And I think maybe we'll use that for normal people, non-hacker type stuff. But I want to show you how to include it into the UI. And so to do that, you have to edit your campaign. If starting a new one, you wouldn't have to if you remember to do this, but I did not. And I don't normally do this, but I think I'm going to start. So edit a campaign is when you right click, you'll get this option here. Now, there might be other places you can right click on and get edit campaign, but a lot of times you don't. And I don't actually know which ones do and which ones don't, but Quick Play does seem to have it. So go here, and this is the screen we're looking for. Maybe the quick play is what I named this. I don't even remember, but this is where you can edit your campaign stuff. And so you want to go back to custom, and here we have our basic rules for Starforge as our core, since this is an expansion. And then there's Feyrunners, which is what we're mainly using, that provides this rule book in the corner. So if we want to look up names, you can see that there's a given name and a family name, and this may be hard to read, but the kind of gray area say they're from Starforge, and this one's from Sundered Islands. You can also use that one. You can use them both. Doesn't really matter. It kind of depends on your world. I think I just want to use Starforge as the one, and so, but you can do this. I'm going to show you how to do this. So if you want to add more, you can easily figure this out. So this gray area, that's your secret sauce you need to add up to this playset rule. So if I want to add, this says oracle underscore rollable Starforge /character /name, and there's given name, this one's family name, etc. And this one's very similar, so it says Sundered Isles, and there's other name tags and things of that nature. But we're just going to worry about this one. And so to do it, let's just go ahead and add what it says here. So we're going to add oracle rollable, and then we add Starforged. And then for that, it's under characters, the one we want. We specifically want names. And we could specify given name, and then another line will add family name. That would work. But I'm going to put 2 asterisks here, which means just anything under that we're going to include into our campaign. And you can see this turned into checkboxes instead of X's. And everything else is still an X except for the ones from Feyrunners. This is just for the name search. And so we're going to definitely get these. And then you just simply say select, but you absolutely must say save here. If you don't say save, you're going to lose it. So even though you configured it, it's not actually saved yet. You have to click save. And you'll know it works because you'll get this section over here. Now we have a Starforge rulebook above Feyrunners. And it's not the whole rulebook, it's just what we said. So the only thing in here is the character names. But now we have given names, we have call sign and family names. So if you want to, pull up names on people, this is a big list of people's names, and I think it's going to add a bit to the campaign, be useful to have. Any other useful Oracle tables you've run into that are in DataSworn, which is the JSON file that we include, you can just add it to your playset within IronVault, and it just works very, very seamlessly with whatever kind of game you're building, which is really nice. I really love this aspect of IronVault, and I really hope other VTTs pick up on this ability to just simply take a JSON you want and then pick and choose for your campaign. It's a great feature. So if that's all you're here for, that's probably the only new thing I'm going to show. I think for the rest of the time, I'm going to just play. a little bit here and continue on with the normal session to kind of see where it goes. If anything else comes up, I'll probably hopefully demonstrate that in the following section. So to recap from session 5, we agreed on a quest from Ode Relic to expose the practice of the self-driving cars produced by Nexus Axiom. They're actually using child laborers from a third world country to drive the cars remotely. They're not doing self-driving tech like they claim. And we swore a vow to Relic to kind of expose them, break into the facility, expose them, and we have managed to traverse our way to it. We had determined that it was too hard for us to just directly connect to. We ran into a complication. So we forged out our own path to get there from the corporate network. So we got some new nodes that we can bounce through. And then we were able to get in. And so we've gotten in through the internet portal. And we've run into like this library area, this research area, where there was a researcher, and we basically tried to convince him to tell us, about this, and he has agreed to help us. He doesn't like the practice. Apparently, he is a scientist who has worked on real self-driving tech, and due to some kind of corrupt outside forces, we're finding out that they have switch paths of how they're going to build these cars, and they're now using these child laborers. And as far as to do things I hadn't done, mark progress on exposing Nexus. Oh, right. So because we're on a quest, we're on a vow, we go here. We have made progress. We've gotten in and we've talked to a person who's willing to help us. And so I do consider that progress, and I feel we can move up on our progress bar here. There is a move for this too. It is under quests, and I believe it's reaching a milestone, getting meaningful insight. Yeah, and it just says mark progress. So there's technically a move for it, but this is all it is. We're making gains for figuring out what's happening. And to recap on what we're trying to do, we have to first locate some proof that they're using child labor, and the second part is to expose them. And so we'll break this down to maybe around the halfway point, we should be trying to get the proof, and then beyond that, we have to expose it. And I think for this time, I will go into the beginner session thing. No new flags. We recapped, and we're going to start off where we're going. What are these things? These are like, we can kind of spice it up a little bit with this type of stuff. I think, sure, let's do this. We haven't done this yet, so let me go actually first to our log, which we're keeping everything in the Oracle here. And then we've done this. I demonstrated this. We recapped. I did this. All right, cool. But before we go on, we'll go ahead and we're going to do one of these session begin things. Oh, we're having blurry dice. So I'm going to ignore this. See if this fixes it. So if I shrink this down, make it bigger, let's try this again. Begin the session. Roll. There we go. Clean dice. Woo! Good, I figured that out one time. Okay, external factors create a new danger. Urgency or importance for a request. All right, cool. And I think because we've done this, we'll think about what this is in a second. But because we've done all the beginning session things, I do think we will take the +1 momentum and we'll continue on from there. And so momentum, that gives us a nice 7. That will be useful. Okay, so let's think about what this new danger urgency is that's going on. Okay, I think when we're talking to this researcher, and let's actually use one of our new tables to figure out what their name is. We'll say they got a badge on them, and have the first and last name. Let's just have the first name first, and maybe we'll do a last name. But Logan. All right, Logan's the researcher. So his badge is Logan, and Logan's like, "Hey, I'm going to help you out here, but we have to be quick. We have this metaverse, influencer in right now, and definitely distracted a lot of people, but there are cameras everywhere. They're always monitoring the facility, especially the R&D section. So while they may not be looking for you right now, they will eventually see this footage. You may have been able to sneak in here, but they'll see you. And so once they see you, they'll be coming after you. And so we have to move, and we have to move now. And so I think that's our cue to kind of just follow him, and we'll see where he takes us. I think we'll create a countdown clock, and we'll move that if we have to pay the price, and that is going to be for security showing up. And so I think we'll just do a small-ish countdown clock. Let's go ahead and create one. Create a clock. This is going to be the Nexus security search, I guess. And how many segments? I think by default 6. That seems a bit high because I think our difficulty isn't super high. So I will make it a 4. Okay, so these odds, in case you want to know how these work, typically, well, this one has no roll. I've never actually set them, but the way they normally work is that you would set a roll for something, and it's for like passive clocks. So you could set it like a clock that says like an impeding, I don't know, faction is going to make a move and, I don't know, do something that you care about. Maybe they're going to take over another faction. Maybe something's going to majorly happen over the course of your campaign, not like through like a small expedition like this, but throughout the course of the campaign. And then you wouldn't do a no roll necessarily. You'd have it roll. And the way they typically work is you roll against the progress, and then things will slowly start to move. So like the beginning of each session, you would do a roll. And if I remember right, if it's higher, equal to or higher than however many ticks you have in your clock, then it progresses and you increment 1. And if it gets all the way to the end, that event occurs. So they're just kind of these big looming campaign things typically, and you use them for that. I haven't used them with an IronVault yet, so I don't know specifically how they work, but that is typically how they work in solo play. We're going to do no roll because we're going to handle this ourselves. All right, so now we have a Nexus security search, and that'll be our clock we're going to go through, and it's just going to have 4. But we're going to start with nothing. And so at one point in time, they're going to start seeing us, and then the clock is going to start ticking. Okay. Now, where does he take us and what do we do? Okay, so I think we're recording these things under one of our progress clocks. We removed this one, so let's go ahead and move that to the old. I think it's here. Nexus XM Network. Okay. So we kind of have 2 progress going on. One is finding, so this would be how we'd go to basically find our way to the child labor. Would I consider this? Now, this may be a little bit different because we're being led, but that's what this would be for. And I think when this gets to basically 100, we should be probably in this one, probably around the 50% marker. So this one's going to move faster than the second one. We may need to make another network type of one for exposing it or some other progress type of thing. But that's why there's 2 of them, and that's how they kind of interact with each other. And so let's just go ahead and roll and see where they take us. And so we're going to do another area roll. I'll just do it this way. And so, all right, so he takes us to the offices. And so we leave the library and we head over to the office area, and we're following him quickly. And maybe there's a feature inside the offices. This is science and research. I think we'll do it this way. Science and research. Let's look at a feature. Spotless. Okay. Nothing in particular there is going to give us much, but it's a spotless thing. Kind of matches the library. Very clean kind of look, well, there's probably more scattered stuff in the library, but the office itself is just spotless. I wonder how busy it is, if there's other people in here. I kind of feel if there's probably a few people and they're just heads down though. They don't really notice us come in. A lot of the cubicles are empty because of the event that's going on, but there's a couple people they're still working, but they haven't currently at least looked up, and we're quickly and quietly moving behind our friend here, whose name I've already forgotten. Let's check it real quick. I would like to use the name since I did roll for it. Logan. All right, Logan. That's right. We are following Logan, and he takes us through these spotless offices, and I think he brings up his computer and he starts typing away. And so, we're in his little cubicle and we're watching him type, and he's not saying anything. He's and typing up something, and we see him go to log in to one of the systems, and he shows us. Let's think. He doesn't show us like the kids or anything. What he shows us instead is he's going to show us the faction. He's going to give us information of what this other force is that's kind of corrupting this company, which would be a new faction. And I think we should roll on that to kind of see what this, who this faction is. You'll start off with type, and it's an underground guild. Makes some sense. And for the underground guild, what kind of underground guild is it? Raiders. Raiders are gangsters. Would that make... I normally like to go with the first one. In this case, I think I'll merge the two. I'm gonna select gangster, but they're the type that are in human trafficking, and so they have something maybe over the CEO of this company, and they have this whole elaborate kind of enterprise, a legal enterprise of using human trafficking to work in these like people farms, and that's where most likely this child labor might be coming from. And they have some influence over the CEO. I don't know if it's blackmail or maybe they have somebody that he's trying to get back. He or she. We don't know who the CEO is yet. And so and this guild, or this underground guild, their name, if I remember right, underground names don't work great in IronVault. How did these look? They're like this. Okay. So let's just roll on screen and do it by hand then, just because they're a little more complicated of a table. Let's take this one. I think that's a 15. And so that's a descriptor plus a political group name. Okay, so those we could roll. So let's roll a descriptor. And the descriptor is open, and open political group name suffix. Let's roll on the screen. Open 71 open block. All right, that works for me. So the group is the open block. We'll write it. Oh, actually, I kind of like the X. That was a typo, but I like that better. Open blocks, and so like a Roblox. Actually, let's make this smaller. They'll call them O blocks. And so O blocks is this underground guild of gangsters, and they deal in human trafficking. Just make a note of this real quick, and misspell everything. Human, fantastic. Human trafficking. Just put the K there. Stop it. Okay. Why is it too many ends? All right, jeez. I don't know what the point of the spell checker is. Okay, so they're involved in human trafficking, and he shows us some proof of at least the dealings of O blocks. He knows, Logan shows us some intercepted kind of pieces of information he has of their doings. Like, as a researcher, I mean, he wouldn't have like proof, I guess. What he'd have is like, he's got some emails and stuff where he was told to stand down, and he shows you some things where, some meeting notes where he was like really upset and kind of fighting with them, and a name was dropped. And this name he looked up, and it's a notorious member of the O blocks. And that name, let's use call signs. They could be a favorite because it is an underground group, but I want to just try the call sign ones. I haven't used it yet. And well, not in this game. So let's go ahead, character name, call sign, see if it works. I mean, if it's no good, we'll do the Fey Runner instead. But I think it'll be fine. Bloodshot. Okay. So here's this name called Bloodshot. They look it up, and well, not they. Logan knows this name. He's heard of this, and the rumor is, of course, that he's from this group called O-Blocks and this human trafficking group. And so he tells you about this and says this is really serious, but he knows no more, and we have to go and take care of this. So he's on our side. He basically just says, okay, here, there's this empty cubicle in the corner. You can hide out there if you need to, but I would move quickly. If you want to look up something, go ahead, but you got to move. You got to move now. So our choices are, we could basically head to that cubicle and do a gathering of something. Or we can continue to move through the network and see if we can find more information. I am a bigger fan of moving through the network. I don't feel like staying in this little office. I don't also think we have a ton to look up at the moment. I could look up more stuff about Bloodshot, which may get me some information there, but I don't really think I need to use the computers for it. And while that's nice background information, I don't really need to expose them. If I can find the kids or videos of the kids, that would be the best. We can deal with the rest later. We might have to deal with it sooner. We could be putting the CEO at risk if there is a ransom situation, or some kind of blackmail, but I don't know. If we figure that out, maybe I'll deal with it more. But for now, I think we just move. I think that's the right call. So let's just go ahead and continue down the network. And that one is under, close these session moves. It's not a quest, it is exploration. And so we're going to explore the system some more. I think, well, it's not stealth. Could use edge if you want to go real quick, but nobody's looking for us just yet. We haven't had anything bad, so I think we're okay at the moment. Let's just use our intuition to go through the network. So we'll do a roll, no pluses. I missed. Do we want to burn our momentum right now? No, I don't want to burn the momentum yet. But what's going to happen with this miss? So we start to head out the door, and as we're walking by the cubicle and we're getting ready to head out to the next space, Logan pops his head up. He goes, I just got an email. Security says they found somebody in the building that looks suspicious, and they want us to keep our eye out for somebody, and they describe you. And so we have to move. And so, he looks panicked. He sits back down, and, obviously he looks afraid. And so, okay, so now the countdown clock starts. Let me try to use, I never actually used this system as opposed to manually clicking the countdown clock. Advance a clock. This would be the security search. How many? 1. Oh, then you pick the odds. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we'll just say 100%. Oh, it doesn't need to roll on that one. Okay, that was more complicated than it needed to be. But what happened there is it just put this play. Next time I'll just click it. I just was really curious how that worked. Okay, cool. And so that's what they handle it. So right now, we basically, in 3 ticks, they're going to find us. But they started their search. And these are going to move when we have bad situations occur. Okay. So now we have more pressure, and I think we can just go ahead and try to explore the system again. And continue with our wits. Oh, maybe we could do a haste. No, I think it's still fine. Oh gosh, not good. So we miss again. So I think how this, I'm not going to burn it again. Not yet anyway. I'm still holding it for the real time. It was so close. We just didn't quite do it. I almost had a near miss. So I think when he goes to make it to the doors are in lockdown. We can't move on easily to another space. And so we're stuck here. Also, the countdown clock, I want to advance it again. And so they, you know, I just think it's just riskier now. And so the Nexus, we'll put that here. So getting closer to finding me. I can't get through the doors anymore. The doors are locked. So I have to go back to that cube. So I rush over to the cube, and I get into that dark cube in the corner, and I will see if I can unlock the doors. And I think to represent that, what we're going to roll against here is, I think it's just going to be explore the system again, to try and get them open. I'm trying to think that would be another one might be better for this. It's not really securing an advantage. We're not really getting ready to fight per se. So yeah, because if we get this successful, we would get into the next room. So what I'm trying to do is I'm frantically typing to see if I can get the next room unlocked. And I think, I don't think I can use an observation intuition at this point. No trickery. I think it's just haste. We're just madly just plugging away at this thing, hoping for the best, which is even worse odds than before. But we do get some success on this one. So we get a weak hit, and this was on edge. And on a weak hit, you use the following table, which doesn't show up here, but it is under oracles. It is explore the system, and we did edge, so we can roll on this one. All right, mark progress twice and reveal a danger. Oh, interesting. Okay, very cool. So this is our progress one, so we're gonna mark this twice. Wait, I think I marked it 3 times. There we go. Is that right? Yeah, that's twice. Okay, so we're going to make good ground, but we're going to also run into something. And we're going to reveal a danger. So I think I want to get to the area that we're in, and that would be in, did it close? We're in science and research. So what is our area here? We ran back to the library or to more offices. I don't think we ran to the library. I mean, the thing is, we marked progress twice. So maybe we doubled back. We ran to the library, and then I'm just going to re-roll and see, we cut through it. So maybe we didn't get through that door. Instead, we realized that we can go back and then run that way, and there'll be another door we can get through. And that takes us into an experimental facility. Okay, that's better. And so it would make sense to be attached to the library. So we can't get the door outside the office unlocked. We take off to the library. We do go through the one into the experimental facility. And then there, we're going to see something that's useful to us. I think what we mainly see is, in this experimental research facility, what we're seeing is a bunch of monitors, and on these monitors is just like giant, almost like Zoom security cameras, but they are not of us. It's not our facility, but instead it is all of these remotely connected people that are, most likely controlling the car. However, there is a danger here, and we need to figure out what that is. And we roll that we accidentally taint research. Okay, and let's roll a feature of the space as well. What do we get here? Incomprehensible. Okay. So I think the incomprehensible piece is that it's way more people than we thought. I don't know what we were thinking, but with there being so many cars they're probably deploying, the amount of what appears to be children on the screen is just staggering. And it's not something that we were even ready to to record. I mean, there's just so many monitors, so many people. We don't really have the bandwidth for this. So now we have to figure out how on earth are we going to broadcast this or expose this without us being involved in it. Like if we took a picture of our own camera or something like that, it's going to expose us as well. And so we need a way to get this information out there without exposing ourselves, or to capture it in some way, shape, or form. So I think is going to happen is I am going to try and set something up. And we understand, a lot about kernels and, the networking and whatnot. So I think what I'd like to do is see if I can reroute the stream, or like a duplicate of these video monitoring streams into something that we do control. And I think to do that, I'm going to roll on Secure and Advantage. I think makes the most sense. And so where is that? Is that an adventure move? Yeah, let me see here. Let me make preparations and attempt to gain leverage. I think this makes sense that we would use this one. You mainly just get momentum, or you get a +1 on your next move, though. Face danger. When you attempt something risky or react to imminent threat, envision your action. Okay, I actually think face danger makes a bit more sense. Secure and Advantage, word-wise, kind of made some sense a bit. But I think what we're really doing here is it's more dangerous, and we're acting on something. We're not preparing to act on something. We're rerouting a clone copy, a duplicate of the traffic, to a node that we control. Let's figure out what that node is. Let's look at our map. Let's send it to what do we got here? Let's send to this home movie theater server. It's pretty close to our rig, which isn't great, but it's just kind of funny that we'd put it there. So, all right, that's the goal. We're going to try and reroute this to the home movie theater server, and we're going to do that by rolling face danger. We're going to use our intelligence for this, so it'll be wits, and here's hoping that we can pull this off. Yikes. Well, it's not awful. It's a weak hit. We succeed, but not without a cost. Make a suffer move. Well, that would be that they get closer to us. We have this clock, and so now we're just one off on the clock. Tick tock, where's that at? Here, nope, this one. All right, so in the next time we get something bad, they do find us. However, we have rerouted the traffic to the home movie theater, and so that home movie theater is now currently getting a feed of all of these kids doing something. They're working away, controlling these vehicles. It's not exposed yet. Where are we at here with the? So we're pretty far off from this. I don't know that we marked progress on our exploration. It does feel that we've made moves on to this one, though. And so exploration, maybe not, but I do feel we made progress on exposing it for sure. So we got that. We're almost at the halfway point. That makes some sense. So we're kind of aligned up where that goes. We have some more progress we could make on exploring the network. And I think if we want to get to the bottom of this human trafficking situation with Bloodshot, we can take that route. We're real close to getting caught, though. It would be kind of good to know what's going on. Can't guarantee we've covered our tracks with the relay that's sitting the traffic. So it does put this at significant risk if we dig it up, but I think we should try it. I think we should take a chance and see if we can gather more information on where this is coming from. Something that would tie in this Oblox group. So we could disconnect, which would be a safer option, but we're not going to do it. We're going to see if we can get a little more information here that will hopefully help us connect all of these dots together. So we roll. This is brilliant. So not only do we do it with a match. So a strong hit with a match is awesome. So we discover something helpful and specific. The path you must follow is clear. Envision what you learn. Take 2 momentum. So I'm just going to take 2 momentum right off the bat. Oh, I thought we had max. And let's see. And with that, is 8 max? I don't even remember. Let me see. I don't have a physical character sheet in front of me, so I don't remember what that is. What is our momentum? Oh no, it's 9. It just hasn't shown up there. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it is. Okay, but that's still super high. And not only we did that, we would definitely increase exposing this. But let's think of what that is. Well, honestly, let's do a story clue and see how that works. And so this is under Oracle, right? There we go. And then that is, I think, a core. Yeah, let's do a story clue and see what kind of clue we get out of this. Contradicts a previously understood factor clue. Okay, so I think what we learn is there's no blackmail. There's no Oblox group isn't holding the CEO hostage or anything like that. What we learn is that the CEO reached out to Bloodshot because he actually I'm going to just say he this says he wanted chief labor. Actually, let's find out their name. What is the CEO's name? And this would just be their. We'll do both names actually. Give a name. This might give us a gender. Oh, so sorry, she. So it is a she. Kayla, I think, is a female name. Let's get the last name too while we're at it. Kayla Hanley. Okay, so Kayla Hanley is the CEO. I'm gonna make a note of that real quick. And she reached out to Bloodshot first because they were doing the financial numbers, and in order to make the investors happy and really get their numbers strong, they needed to cut the costs. And all these supercomputers that would be in these self-driving cars are super expensive. They're running into overheating issues as well. And so Kayla came up with this plan to outsource basically the supercomputers and reach out to Bloodshot, knowing that they deal in trafficking. And through Bloodshot, they set up all of these things. So we find some communication about this, and we pull this off into our own personal storage system. And yeah, I think that is definitely what the match gives us. We get the hit, we get all the information that I think we need for this. Awesome. Now with that, we can definitely disconnect, and I think that's what we do. Before the security catches us, we will just disconnect from the network, and we just kind of slump back in our chair for a minute and just thinking about this, like, oh, geez, like, that's intense, that's tight. We need to now figure out how we're going to expose this. We do know that we have the security camera footage going live to a home media server somewhere in the regular core network, and we have conversations with the CEO, Kayla Hadley, talking to Bloodshot of Oblox that does human trafficking. So I think with that, before we go on to figuring out how we're going to expose it, I think I'm going to actually just take a break. I'm going to stop for the session, and we'll pick up next time. I just want to get a little bit of gameplay in here, and I might organize some of my notes a bit. But yeah, this is fun. This is exciting. So I hope you're enjoying it. All right, thank you. Bye.